In this video, I make Tom Kha Gai. I had to make some modifications, but I feel based on what I had available, I was still able to make a decent version. This is a soup I always have in Thai restaurants. It is a creamy broth with a tangy lime kick. This soup in combination with warm jasmine rice is so good. I had to try and make it for myself. Here is the recipe.
Here are all the ingredients you're going to need to make the Tom Kha soup. As always, a list of the ingredients and measurements will be listed in the description below. I'm going to start with the ingredients that I had to make the most modifications with. So I have about 3 to 4 limes. Lime juice is included in a traditional recipe, but I have no idea where to find kaffir lime leaves yet. So instead of kaffir lime leaves, I'm just going to peel with a vegetable peeler the rind off of the limes. I don't have fresh lemongrass, but I did have some that I sort of blended up and froze. So I have that here because it is in this texture. I have this giant tea steep looking ball that I actually use to make pho. This is where I would put all of my spices to steep in the broth, and then I just kind of hang this on the side of the pot. Instead of palm sugar, I'm going to be using brown sugar, and instead of coconut milk, I have coconut cream, and I'm just going to add a little bit extra broth. This is Galangal, and I think you can use ginger. I've seen it with this. I have no idea how I have this and none of the other ingredients, but I did have this, so I'll just be slicing and using this as well. So those were my modifications in order to get this soup tasting as true to traditional as I could get it.
Slice and chop tomatoes into fairly large chunks. I like to wipe the mushrooms with a paper towel, and then I stem them, and I take the caps and slice them nice and thin. This ingredient, the galangal, I found is much harder than ginger. It's like super hard, and it has a more medicinal smell and taste. And as I grow older, I find to really love that taste. So I am just cutting it into pieces that are big enough to fit in this giant tea steep that I'll be steeping.
Last thing is the lime. I'm trying to get it as close to the green with no white as possible because I think the white part will make it kind of bitter. I'm gonna add it right in here also, just like that. Oh, I found this thing at the Asian market. I forgot you want to roll your limes. Four limes, there were 4 small limes, got me to exactly 1/3 cup, which is exactly what I want.
This part happens so fast. All you want to do is take your all the ingredients we put in the tea steep thing with the broth and bring that to a boil. Once that's boiling, add in your coconut cream or coconut milk. I add in all the vegetables. At first I did not add all of the vegetables. I did about half, and then I added half later. Add in your sugar, fish sauce, and then give that a nice stir. This mixture will come to a simmer, and I'm just pointing out there that it's a simmer. That is when you want to add in your chicken. So I'm just going to add in all of the chicken, bring that to a light boil, and let it kind of simmer and boil until the chicken is cooked through. Then you're going to want to remove it from the heat and add in your lime juice. Here I just strain as much liquid out of this thing as possible, so I spent a lot of time just shaking it. And that's it, plate it up, you're all done.
I'm super happy with how this turned out. It is so good. So good. I could definitely put more tomato and mushroom, but I just love the broth with rice anyways.